Just ignore the sound. I just want the beginning part. We. Anyways, this is MrMtnDew here, and as you can see, that was my crappy little excuse for a beginning. And as I can see, it is, what do you know, my favorite cell phones with each provider. Now, these are the exact phones I would choose if I moved to a different provider. Of course, there's only Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile, which I don't think I'm moving from T-Mobile for a couple of years. But anyways, here are my selections. With AT&T, of course, if you know me well enough, you will know that it is the Apple iPhone. Now, the reason I chose the Apple iPhone is because, one, this is probably the best smartphone anyone can afford, and I don't know why anyone who's probably really rich would spend all their money on one of those $5,000 cell phones that don't really do crap. On to my next one, with T-Mobile. If I got a different phone and was able to, I would probably get the BlackBerry Curve 8900. Now, for one thing, this is the slimmest BlackBerry yet, and of course it's got the full keyboard and such, camera, and it's got the new BlackBerry OS. With Sprint, I would choose the HTC Touch Pro. And the reason that is because, one, this is just the HTC Touch Diamond with a full keyboard, and I really like the interface with the Windows Mobile. For one thing, Windows Mobile is a lot more compatible with things, sort of like nowadays, between Windows and Macintosh operating systems. But it's a really nice looking phone, even though it's a brick. On to my next phone, the Samsung SCH i760. Now, the reason I chose this one is because another Windows Mobile phone, of course. It's probably the nicest looking Windows Mobile phone with a full QWERTY keyboard that Verizon has. Now, the Samsung Omnia, I know it's a pretty good one, but I'm not really a fan of the touchscreen keyboard. Which, of course, I have stopped using my G1 due to the fact that it costs $35 a month to maintain service, so I just went back to using an old Moto Razr. Now, for my regular cell phone picks, I have chosen the LG Envy for Verizon. Now, the reason that is because, one, this one's a little nicer looking than the old LG Envy. It's still a brick, but it fits in my pocket a lot easier. And I just basically like the interface on this one a lot easier. If I could show you an opened picture of the LG Envy 2, you'd know why. On to my next one, from Sprint, the LG Lotus, another ugly square. The reason I like this one is because it's got a full QWERTY keyboard, yet it is a flip phone. This is probably the first time I have ever seen this done on a phone. I'm not sure if this has ever been done before, like on a real cell phone, but yeah, the LG Lotus, full QWERTY keyboard. How about them apples? With T-Mobile, my regular cell phone choice, another full QWERTY keyboard phone. And knowing T-Mobile, what full QWERTY keyboard phone are they famous for? That is right, the T-Mobile Sidekick. This is the T-Mobile Sidekick LX. Now, the reason I like this one, I know I keep using that cliche, but the reason I like this one is because it's got the full QWERTY keyboard, of course. It is a lot sleeker than the other Sidekicks, but it's sort of got a little bit of a finesse over the other Sidekicks, like the new one. They sort of rammed the Sidekick into the ground lately. The Sidekick 3, that was a good move. That was probably the best Sidekick I've seen so far, but not the slimmest, nicest thing to hold up to your ear. This one, probably the same thing, but a little bit slimmer. Now, the regular phone I've chosen with AT&T, the Pantech Slate. Now, the reason I've chosen... For the reason that I've chosen this one is because, one, it's just a low-end messaging phone. It's pretty cheap, but I seem to like it because it's slimmer, it's cleaner, it's sleeker, it's got a camera and such, and I really like it. It's, if anyone's ever seen the Pantech C3 or the C3B, this is sort of like the messaging phone version of that doesn't flip, of course. Yeah, so extremely small for a full QWERTY keyboard phone. Now, this has been MrMtnDew's top cell phone choices with the leading cellular providers in the United States. Thank you, and I will see you next time. How do you wink?